All right. Well, happy Thursday morning to you all. It's what time? It's 10:30, 10:24. I've been working from home this morning, and I just got an emergency call that's forcing me out the door. So yeah, let's do our weather report, and I'm going to get on the road. It is 82 degrees. Feels like 89. Yeah, it's really steamy out here today, man. I mean, it's super steamy. Very high humidity, 79%. Yeah. It feels wet. Feels like it's going to rain, but we don't have rain in the forecast today. But it looks like we've got it coming in for tomorrow, about a 30% chance. And then again on Sunday, we'll find out. Anywho, hey, my birthday next Tuesday. And that's... Was I born on a Tuesday or a Thursday? I think I was born on a Thursday. Anyway, yeah. So the roofing got done yesterday. They did a fast job. I don't know how good of a job they did, but it looks okay. I noticed there's a couple of really crooked shingles at the top of the crown of the garage over there, but all in all, it looks like they did a good job. Man, they made a mess. Oh my God. I mean, you can see my driveway's covered. I've got to do pressure washing on the driveway and get rid of some extra trash. They left pallets behind, my dead DirecTV dish, all that. I'm going to pressure wash the driveway, and I have to tear pretty much everything out of the garage and clean the garage now, because them banging around on the roof of that, everything inside the garage is just covered right now in wood chips and dirt and everything else. I had no idea that was such a destructive process, but okay. So now everything needs cleaned in there. It's just covered. And my yard guys don't like me anymore, apparently. We've been using this yard crew for 15 plus years, and they've missed us 2 weeks in a row. So I guess I've got to come out here today and do some yard maintenance when I get done working. I'm going to rake all this detritus up, and this is another thing that the roofing crew left behind that I just noticed a minute ago. Check this pile of crap out. I got roofing nails and screws all in my grass all over the place. I found some in the driveway, so I'm going to have to come out here with a magnet and pick up a lot of stuff, so we don't end up losing windows when the yard guys come out here, because that stuff gets launched or ends up in my tires, which is an even worse day. So, okay, let's go. Gotta go down to MicroCenter, pick up a switch for a customer that just called and said they've got a gate system down. They can't open their gates because the PoE switch is apparently dead, which that's not good. So I got to sort that before afternoon time, when they really need to be operating those gates again. I think we had a Cisco small, like a Cisco Linksys PoE in there, because the devices, the gate controllers, are 10 megabit PoE, 10 megabit half duplex. That's all they connect with. It's very strange. And a lot of newer switches just won't connect at that speed. They try to force it to 100, and they just won't down regulate to 10 meg. So anyway, we're gonna pick up a Ubiquiti PoE switch and replace this thing, and hopefully that sorts the problem. So I haven't heard anything else from Scooter 444 on my Discord server. I'm hoping he's doing all right. I'm gonna try to check in with him again today and see how he's doing. The last message I got from him yesterday late afternoon was that he had been in the hospital since 8 a.m. and they really hadn't done anything to fix him up. So hopefully he's at least getting a prognosis now. Maybe out of the hospital, we'll find out. Hitting a deer at freeway speeds is no good. I've jumped a deer before by accident. It was down on the road and was coming kind of down a hill, crest of the hill and down, and I saw a truck sitting at the base of the hill. This is dark, by the way, middle of the night, 2 a.m. and truck is sitting down at the bottom of this hill with the flashers on up on the right shoulder. So I'm keyed in on him, not paying attention to what's on the road in front of me, and I found it. I found it. He had struck a deer, and it was laying right across the middle of the lane, and I was, you know, decelerating from 75 down to, you know, probably, I don't know, maybe 60. I'd just seen him and rolled off the throttle, and out of my lower periphery, I saw a fur. I'm like, oh shit. Nothing you can do. If you panic brake, you're done. So I just gripped the bars real tight and stood up a little bit, and motocrossed it. I jumped that deer, man. I hit him right about the shoulders, the front shoulders, on my Yamaha FC6R, and got launched about, I got at least a foot of air, let's put it that way, at, you know, 60 plus miles an hour, and I managed to stick the landing. It was hairy. I came off the pegs a little bit, but my forks weren't bent, nothing. I got lucky. I rode it out. I pulled off about where the truck was, and he was standing in front of his truck, you know, surveying the damage. He lost his headlights and his grill and everything. It mangled his, it was a Ford F-150. And I pulled off behind him and went, dude, I just hit it too. Oh, whew. That was a brown shorts moment. Unfortunately, 444 was not as lucky. He must have center punched it while it was upright. He said he T-boned it. He was riding his CB300R that he just got a couple months ago. He had been riding a PCX 160 as his daily 100 miles round trip to work and back every day, 50 miles there, 50 miles back, and he liked the PCX because it was efficient. He has a Rebel 250 as well, I think, or something, another smaller bike, but he didn't like that because it's too buzzy and not very comfortable. So he got this CB300 and was loving it, but unfortunately now he's messed up and the bike is very likely totaled. I just hope he's okay. You can replace bikes. It's harder to replace bones. I was considering setting up a like a breakfast meetup this weekend. I don't know if I would have time to edit and post this vlog. I mentioned it previously, and I don't know if I edited and posted that vlog yet, so it's getting a little short. If I can edit this tonight, or at least the previous one tonight, and kind of post my intentions, see if anybody's interested in getting together for a little Houston breakfast, late breakfast, something like that. Just sit around, chat, goof off. Now that the election stuff is out of the way and everybody's temperature has hopefully dropped a little bit, maybe the world will be a calmer, friendlier place. We'll find out. I need to put some load resistors in the rear flashes on this because I've got a hyper flash. The hyper flash is weird because it doesn't do it when the bike is first started up and running, so it's almost like a voltage issue, something, temperature, voltage, I don't know which. But as the engine's been run in for a few minutes or the RPM is higher, then I get the hyper flash. And replacing the signal flasher is not an option on this bike, unfortunately, because it's built into the gauge up here. I've dismantled it and gotten in there to look at what it would take, and I would have to build an intercept harness at the back plug of the gauge in order to bypass the flasher circuit. So it's easier just to put load resistors in there if you need them. I've already got CAN bus friendly LED signals in here which have load resistors built into them to prevent modern cars from telling you that your signal is bad or whatever, and that should help with the hyper flash because you're presenting more of a resistive load to that flasher relay. But nope, not on this bike. So you have to do load resistors. It's real hard to get into the front end and put load resistors up here, but the back is easy. It's just right there in the luggage box, or you can pull off the side panels. Wow, 10:30 a.m. and West Park is still clogged. Crazy. 10:45. Wow. I have mentioned it before and I will mention it again. I am ready to move out of Houston. How to effect that change is the real question. It's got escape from New York, escape from Houston. MicroCenter. If nobody's coming, I'm doing a UE right here. Ooh, MicroCenter's full this morning. Really full. Wow, they just opened an hour ago, so yeah. Well, hopefully they got what I need. I checked their inventory before I left and said they had 20 plus of them in stock, so I think I'll be okay. And I'll park Bertha up here. She's a little fat, but she fits. All right then. Time to go get Ubiquiti switch, shove it under the seat. I took off the top box today because I don't need it. Get my laptop under the seat, it'll be just fine. Yeah, I'll leave it running, why not? Walk in with my helmet on like a dweeb. Show you guys MicroCenter if you've never seen one. As long as I don't think I'm a Moto bandit coming in to rob them. Yeah, I got my wallet, I got all my stuff. Excuse me. I'll take the helmet off so I don't look like such a dork. This way. How you doing, buddy? Hi. How are you? One of my clients. He's over here buying stuff today too. Okay, Ubiquiti. I just need the little guy. The little guy. Is this the 109 wired nets? Is that the... Yeah, light 8 PoE. Sorry for the crooked camera. Light 8 PoE. That's what I need. Cool. Not much of a tour because I'm in a hurry. Looks like the line is pretty long too, so we'll get in that line so I can get out of here. They open at 10 a.m., so not sure why the line is so thick today. Pretty busy out there. Oh yeah. Alright, well that took a while. 20 minutes standing in line. Not moving very fast today. Throw that in there. And get on the road. Ugh. Yeah, it's funny. I met one of my customers in there. He's one of the guys from the church right over here off of Post Oak. Or no, what is it? Not Post Oak. Sage. Alright, I've arrived. Let's see if I can fix this gate problem and get out before rush hour traffic. Alright, problem solved, crisis averted. Installed their new switch, got it managed into the rest of the network so we can keep tabs on it. And I'm gonna get out of here. What time is it? It's 1:30? Oh, 1. I'm gonna beat it on back to Katy, get out before the rush hour traffic, and Get to my yard work. Starting to look pretty haggard in front of my place. Trim the hedges and rake all that junk up. Looking pretty bad. We're expecting the yard guys Wednesday a couple times. I'm gonna sneak out. Sorry for going out the end. The exit gate over there does not detect me. Still pretty humid out here today. We got some heavy clouds rolling in out from the west, so I don't know if we're going to get rain today. We had just a partial chance of rain tomorrow, but it's looking a little thick. Feeling a little thick. It's very humid. I am going to be sweating my nuts off outside doing the yard work, but it's got to be done because tomorrow I'm going to be busy and we've got rain tomorrow, so that's not the day to do it. Today is my only chance. And it gets early, you know, it's dark early now, so early sunset. It's dark by 6 o'clock. So, gotta get this done. I got a couple decent hours of daylight. Knock it out. Get the sweating done. Maybe sit out and enjoy the sunset tonight. Just sit in the driveway and chill. I've got my garage TV set up now on the stand. I used that during my last live stream, but I didn't have it on the stand. I have it on a rolling cart, more or less, and sound bar and everything on it, so I could sit out in the driveway, watch TV on the patio, garage, whatever. As long as the weather's nice and it's not too terribly muggy, you know, get a little bit of airflow moving and mosquitoes aren't just horrendous. Living where I do, right there close to George Bush Park, we've always got mosquitoes because, you know, the park is a retention pond essentially, and there's just tons and tons of standing water out there all the time. We have the mosquito fogger trucks that come through our neighborhood periodically, but that's usually only through the heat of the summer. They don't really run this time of year, as far as I know. But that doesn't stop the mosquitoes, I'll tell you. Stop off and fill this up on the way home. Put some fresh go-go juice in it. This fuel is a couple, 3 weeks old, at least, maybe a month. I'm trying to not let fuel sit in the tank any longer than necessary on all my bikes now. I need to get back to my routine of running them through, you know, keeping the fluids and the batteries fresh, because after last year, 23 was a bad year, and I ended up not riding a lot of my machines, and they all went to pot. So, of course, this one was sitting a lot longer than that. It was very fortunate that I left this thing full of fuel when it got parked for its 3 or 4 year hiatus, because if that tank had been low and there were more room in that for condensation and stuff, it would have been really rusted up. Prices here compared to Walmart down the street from me, so $249, $269. And what I've noticed is their price is not correct. They don't honor that at the pump. They've got a cash price and a credit price, and if you try to use a credit card, it dings you. Now that I ride this thing after so many years, it makes me want the Honda Integra even more. The Integra 700 and 750 were based off of the NC 750, or 700 and 750, and it's a scooter layout, but with the NC 700 750 powertrain, DCT. Feet forward design, you know, kind of a laid-back cruiser. Man, that would be great. The CTX 700 was not quite what I wanted. The rear suspension on it was rough, and I never owned one, but I rode one a few times. Something about the ergonomics didn't quite work out for me, although I almost did get one a couple times when Wild West right out here had them on sale, stupid cheap. They had old stock, overstock, several years old. They had the CTX 700 and the 700N, the naked, and they had it in both manual and DCT versions for like $4,000 bucks, 4,600 I think for the DCT version, and $39.99. I mean, $39.99, $4,000. You kidding me? Can't even buy a PCX 150 for that now. So I was almost going to do that. That was right before C19 happened, and they just had crazy good deals. Every time I would go in there, it was dangerous to my wallet. I was like, I'm going to buy something. I just know it. I should have gotten the CTX 700 DCT. That would have been okay, but I would have had to put money in that rear suspension because they're a bit rough. It only has like not even 3 inches of suspension travel or something, so a little rough. But these scooter layouts are more comfortable. I don't even know what the suspension is on this one. It's got 5 inches in the front and 4.5, almost 5 in the back, I think. It's good enough for this kind of around town tooling and also out on the highway. The factory forks on this were pretty bad though. They were way too soft. I put Hyper Pro springs in here immediately after I bought it. I got this, it was 2 years old, and it had 2,500 miles, maybe 3,000 miles on it. It's 2004, I got it 2006. We paid a good deal for it too. I only paid 3,500 bucks, which I thought was really good, considering it was so new and had such low miles on it. And knew they were still running it like $8,600, something like that, back in early 2000s. They were not cheap scooters. So when I found it for less than half price, I thought, oh yeah, sure, why not? Because I was looking to get out of my Suzuki Bergmans that I had anyway. Because I had two 650s, and they were both had issues, and the second one I had at that time was starting to get into some weird transmission problems. I thought, I need to get out of this. Yeah, I guess I'll go get gas. I need to fix that rattling panel over here. It drives me bonkers. Shush! I've always been impressed with the rear shocks on this thing. They're very well controlled, well damped. I ride this thing on, I think, the 3rd spring position of 5, so preload is right in the middle. It's just fine. The front end is a little stiffer than I would like, but it's light years better than the factory squishy springs, because, man, you couldn't even touch the brakes on this thing without the front nose diving into the pavement every time. So soft. Hobby horsey. Feels a lot more like a motorcycle now. But I had a Honda of Houston up there in Cyprus pull the front end off of this and put the springs on it, and they were the dopies that left my front axle untorqued and the carrier bolts, or the the pinch bolts, just hanging free. Are you shitting me? It was all loosey-goosey. I couldn't figure out why it felt like crap. I got home and I looked at it. They didn't even torque my front wheel on, man. It was about to fall out. Never took anything back to them for service. Okay. Heavy pig. Up you go. Fill her up. I've had to rebuild this gas cap twice over the last couple years, or the last couple times that it sat, because there was so much corrosion on here. The pins were locked up And then one time I got the key in there and I couldn't get the key back out. I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm really stuck. Not only can I not fill up the bike, I can't leave. So what are the fuel prices? $2.39, $2.64, and $2.89. Okay. Sub $3 for 93. Sure, I'll treat it. Put some super in here. At least I'm putting in more than a gallon, so I figure I'll actually get what I'm paying for out of the hose, you know. With the little bikes, the mini motos, it doesn't matter what you put in. You're getting pretty much half a tank of whatever was in that. Whatever was in that hose. Stop spitting at me. This one's always a little tricky because it's going to burp the fuel all the way up to the neck before you can catch it, so can't really see it very well until it's already out. Whoop! Caught it before it totally burped, puked. What do we got? Hey, look at that. I can get 6 more cents in there. 3 gallons. What do you know? $8.50. $8.50. Where's my level? Am I over the bar? Yep, just over the bar in there. Good. All right. Good enough. 2.932 gallons. American gallons, not British. Imperial. U.S. gallons. How did that ever happen? U.S. gallons versus Imperial gallons. How did that? Somebody's milk jug not the right size? And what was the mileage on the trip? Not that one. That one. 139.5 on that trip. Okay. Reset. Okay then. So I'll start tracking the miles on this thing, see how it is, but I used to just do the calculations, you know, per fill up and try to keep track of it. It was usually low 50s, 52-ish when I was using this for my commuting most of the time. If I got it out on the highway and was doing, I'm not even putting these on, doing long, steady, you know, slow-ish runs under 65 miles an hour, I could get 54 out of it. But it's not super efficient. It's a big, heavy scoot. And the belt drive, you lose a lot of efficiency compared to other bikes that would be in the 500 or 600 cc range. My CB500 series get about 15 to 20 points higher than this thing on average. And they are slightly smaller displacement, but, you know, not that much. The roofers are back at my house again. What are they doing? Picking up those pallets? Alright. Oh no, these are yard guys. Okay, so I'm gonna come out here and do yard work. Oh goody. Good fun. Gotta rake all this up and do the hedges first, and yeah, good fun. And then I gotta break out the pressure washer and clean up all this detritus. So, wish me luck. I'm gonna sweat, sweat, sweat. Alright, so I really did what I said I was gonna do for once. My son and I came out here and raked up the yard. You can see the bean sprouts from 2 weeks of sitting there. We raked it up. It took 4.5 giant bags, and I mean, these things are like 40 pounds each. It's crazy how heavy these things are. I didn't know pine needles could weigh so much. So there you go. I got 4 massive bags and a half a smaller one, and my DirecTV antenna that was off the roof that the guys threw down and destroyed. I told them to save it, but they didn't. Yeah, so now it's time to coil this up and drink more. I am embarrassed to say how many I've had, but it's at least 10 alcoholic adult beverages. So yeah, anyway. I've had a whole bunch of Mike's Hard Lemonade, and let's see, 3 Dos Equis, 4 Dos Equis, and 6 Mike's Hard Lemonade. That's a lubricant for the outdoor activities. Without that, God, it's unreal. It was so hot out here. The heat index was 97 degrees until the sun went down just a few minutes ago. So like 81% humidity. Brutal, man, brutal. Welcome to Houston. Pardon me, I lied. It wasn't Mike's Hard Lemonade. It was the Twisted Tea. I've had like 6 of these now. 7. Salud. No. Salud. Boa noite. Done. Quit. Game over.